Spot Devices by Global Star uses second-generation satellite technology that allows customers to track themselves and their assets, send messages, and contact search and rescue. Spot Trace is the theft alarm tracker that monitors the movement and location. Spot Gen 3 lets off-the-grid adventurers send messages, track movement, and call for help. Spot by Global Star, satellite technology. Support for WYES is made possible by Mary Lou Kristovich in memory of her husband, William Kristovich.
Good evening, I'm Peggy Scott Laborde and welcome to Steppin Out, spotlighting the New Orleans area's arts and entertainment scene. Seated at our table tonight, Tracee Dundas, founder and creative director of New Orleans Fashion Week, and so much more we'll be talking about. welcome, hello.
Happy to be here.
Great. Poppy Tucker, host of the WWNO radio program, Louisiana Eats. Hey, Miss Poppy.
Hey, Peg.
With a poppy shawl,
yes,
too.
indeed.
Very cool, okay. We're so thrilled. Film, television, and stage actor, and born in New Orleans, Harold Sylvester, here to discuss the upcoming production of Detour, in which he co-stars with Kenneth Brown Jr., and they'll be performing a scene a little bit later, and this is Harold Ellis Clark's play, and we're just thrilled. It's going to be at the Ashe Powerhouse. More about that. And he's back! Steppin Out theater critic, Alan Smason, editor of the Crescent City Jewish News, back from NYC.
Yes, indeed, the Great White Way.
The Great White Way. But great to see Miss Poppy to give us some scoop.
Well, if you don't have a copy yet of Miss Ella, you have another chance to get a signed copy from T. Martin. Fabulous chance. On Wednesday from 4 until 6 at the new Hazelnut. T will be signing books.
Yes.
The new Hazelnut is just a few doors down from the old one. It's much larger than the original one, so I can hardly wait to see all the goodies that Tom and Brian have waiting for us in there. And cocktails from Commander's Palace will be served.
And T is so wonderful.
T's the greatest
and working
girl.
with her mama on the show, and it just,
I
on this
just
book,
love her.
and then the documentary.
Oh,
and all
yeah.
this. What a great photo of her too. Yeah,
Adorable.
pretty lady. I also love the color because, of course, it's the color.
It's
of
Commander's Palace Aqua.
Yes.
It certainly is. So then another great event that's coming up, the Goldring Center for Culinary Medicine is having another one of their celebrity chef dinners, and Kelly Fields, who I just adore, who's the chef partner at Willa Jean, she will be cooking in the Refresh Center kitchen on North Broad Street, Saturday, November 12th at 6:30. The menu's fabulous. Pimento cheese and country ham and crackers and pickles, artichoke and cheese business, goodness knows what that is, and crostini, tuna niçoise with sweet potato, mustard, and tapenade, ancient grains, Louisiana citrus, chicken and ricotta dumplings. I mean, the menu's just out of this world. The dessert is a satsuma creamsicle with carrot and buttermilk.
Now, just a sense of place on that. Is that in the Whole Foods complex?
That's in the Whole Food complex there. And of course,
Great.
this is all food that's designed to be healthy, even though it sounds wicked like it is. But it's delicious. So then another annual event that's happening at Arno's is what they call their brew, and that's beer plus roux dinner, and that's happening Thursday, November 10th. It's a bargain at $60. It's 4 courses with craft beers from Second Line Brewery in New Orleans, Abita Brewery in Covington, Great Raft Brewery in Shreveport, and Terrapin Beer Company in Athens, Georgia, and Bell's Brewery in Kalamazoo, Michigan. The menu's divine. How about some mini beef and oyster pies, corn-crusted Gulf shrimp with poblano pepper gravy and corn makshu, braised short ribs with honey-herbed gastrique, pimento cheese grits, and ginger-glazed Brussels sprouts.
Oh, Poppy, baby.
And for dessert, all paired with these beers. And for dessert, a chocolate malt creme brulee with pecan shortbread. Oh, gosh, that sounds delicious. Then there is a special. Usually you don't find lunch or dinner deals so much once it gets to November and December. Well, Dickie Brennan is doing a get one, buy one, get one free lunch at Tableau on Wednesdays through November.
That's a deal.
So right there on Jackson Square, that balcony is fabulous. It's so pleasant when the weather's cool and the doors are open. And how can you beat? There is a free lunch. Buy one, get one free.
That's right. Didn't New Orleans create the free lunch? I think the early history, allegedly, supposedly.
I think so. You can get a free lunch in New Orleans.
Yes, you can. Thank you.
Thanks, Peg.
And we turn to Tracee, and as we said, you're a very versatile lady in terms of by day stylist and creating all kinds of wonderful fashion ideas and bringing people together with this group.
Yes, it's been great building New Orleans Fashion Week over the last 7 years. I can't believe I'm going to be entering the 7th season of New Orleans Fashion Week. And I'm so excited about our fall event that we're introducing, the Fashion Awards Gala. That's going to be November the 18th at Harris Theater. It is an opportunity to shine the spotlight on the tastemakers and the pioneers that have really paved the way.
Before we're about to go to that, but before we do, also tell us, aren't you looking for models?
We are. Do you want to be a model?
That's okay. But tell us about the models.
Yes.
Just real quick, because that's kind of fun.
We're doing a model casting call on November the 12th and the 13th. On the 12th, we'll be at Vanguard Paul Mitchell in Metairie, and then we'll go to Baton Rouge, both days from 3 to 6. So, anyone can come out if they're interested in modeling quite seriously.
For their experience, do they get paid? Or?
So the models are volunteers.
Volunteer.
We give them,
so you get some experience. You get started.
It does. And let me tell you, a lot of these models have gone on to work at New York Fashion Week. We've got a girl in Paris right now. It's been an amazing opportunity. A lot of doors open up.
So gala, back to gala here.
Gala, yes. So the gala, as I was saying, is going to be November the 18th at Harris Theater, and it's toasting and celebrating the pioneers in the fashion industry. Past recipients have been Mignon Faget, a dear friend Lucille McDonald.
Yes,
I think
Miss Lucille.
Love her. And so this evening on November the 18th, we have a theme of fashion fantasy fete. So we want our guests to come out and dress in their best fantasy costume. In New Orleans, we always love a great costume, and so this is an opportunity to put a little couture to it.
And speaking of Miss Lucille, who was so involved with between D.H. Holmes and Adler's, and in the more recent past with the Fashion Group.
With Fashion Group International, and helping us re-charter that organization. We kind of went defunct with Hurricane Katrina, and with her help, we were able to get that chapter started up again.
Now, so if someone is interested in becoming involved, they just go to your website or your Facebook page? And
either, both. All of that above.
Okay. But it's a variety, isn't it? People could be not only involved with fashion, but makeup and.
Right. So we have an opportunity for everybody to have involvement. Our glam squad, as I like to call it, is our hair and makeup team, and we're looking for people to be part of that. We're also looking for photographers to take pictures on the red carpet or just of the runway shows as well, and of course the models, as you mentioned.
Yeah. So the gala, and then looking ahead, you've got a fashion week in the spring, don't
and
you?
That'll be coming up in March. And let me note that we highlight a lot of local designers at Fashion Week. So that's a key thing that we like to do. And designers are welcome to visit that website, NewOrleansFashionWeek.com, for more information.
Great. Thank you so much, Tracee.
Thanks.
And New Orleans Magazine's quiz queen, Julia Street, has a question for us. Last time, Robert Sass gave us the full name of Morgus the Magnificent and Momus Alexander Morgus. And also, what on the top of what building did he live? All right. So he lived actually on the top, supposedly, allegedly, the old city ice house. Okay, now tonight's question. Where was Alabama's head coach, Nick Saban, immediately before and after his time at LSU? We know the big game's coming up. Email your answers to steppinout@wyes.org. Our prizes. We have a dish towel with the message I gobble from our friends at wearablevegetables.com. And thanks to our friends at Pelican Publishing, we have a copy of the brand new The Fairgrounds Through the Lens, photographs and memories of horse racing in New Orleans, written by me, with photography, beautiful photography by Louis Hodges Jr. And we'll be telling you much more about that real soon. But we also have a pair of free admission passes to either the Audubon Zoo, Aquarium of the Americas, the Butterfly Garden, and the Insectarium. So you choose. Speaking of the aquarium, the mermaids of the Weeki Wachee Springs State Park in Florida arrived yesterday, and they'll be at the aquarium through next Sunday, November 13th. And don't forget, Kitchen Witch is still doing their Friday night Sip and Shop event, and we also have 2 tickets to the New Orleans Opera's production of Verdi's Macbeth for the Sunday, November 13th matinee at the Mahalia Jackson Theater. You can visit WYES.org for our online calendar to see our lineup of events, including the New Orleans Book Festival, that's next Friday and Saturday, and Crescent City Auction Gallery's 2-day estates auction next week, which will be previewing all this week. Coming up, you can also link to our WYES YouTube channel to view our program. And now to Harold. Oh, Harold, we're so excited you're here. First of all, New Orleans trivia. Harold was a cameraman for WYES in 1973, and then you got a call.
Well, yeah, I got a call from Wilma Francis, who's my agent.
Talent agent, yes.
At the time saying that she wanted me to go on an audition and stuff in Baton Rouge. She was having a busload of people go down there the next morning, and I said, I can't go. I've got a real job.
This is 1973.
1973. I'm a camera guy. And so finally, with enough badgering, I said, okay, I will go down after work. And stuff. And I had to borrow a car, to drive to Baton Rouge. Got a ticket on the way.
And the rest is history. And then you moved to LA, and you're still there, but you come back and forth.
Got cast in the lead in that film, moved to LA.
Sounder, Part 2.
Part 2 Sounder. Yep.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about what you're doing. You're back here in New Orleans to be in a play. Set that play up for us a little bit.
Well, it's a play written by Harold Ellis Clark, and about father and son who haven't seen each other in 20 years. Father's been in prison, for murder. That's why my fancy attire.
Yes, you're going to perform for us.
For murder, and he gets a surprise visit from his son, who, as it turns out, is a military guy, who is off defusing bombs in Afghanistan. Play about loss. It's a play about a lot of things. Harold Clark is a really subtle guy who writes in depth. Stuff that audiences
really. And he's a writer-in-residence at Ashe Playwright-in-residence in Ashe
local, obviously,
which is just great.
Award-winning and very, very, very wonderful writer.
Yeah, and we're very excited about that. But just to say that you have done so much. Married with Children, CSI, Miami, NYPD Blue. You also have written scripts for NYPD Blue. I mean, it's been quite a career.
It's been a wonderful career. And stuff that all started at WYES TV.
At WYES, and
right.
we're so glad. And as you said, you come back and forth. You still have family here, but you went to good old St. Aug and Tulane, huh?
Exactly right.
Now you, if you have not had a chance to meet Mr. Sylvester, you can't help but notice he's a tall fellow. Okay, so you played basketball?
I did play basketball.
For both of them?
Yeah, St. Aug. Matter of fact, part of the basketball legacy, I guess, at St. Aug was we played in that Jesuit game, between St. Aug and Jesuit that became the movie Passing Glory. So that is a part of the school's legacy and my legacy, I guess. As well. And then went on to be a scholarship athlete, the first African American scholarship athlete at Tulane.
Wow.
So
well, please don't
history.
Be a stranger. I hope you do more theater here.
I would like to come back and run the camera.
Would you like to?
All right.
Maybe we can figure that out, but we're so glad, and we will let you do your thing. We're so glad he's returned to our hometown, his hometown, and we have a scene from Detour, also featuring Kenneth Brown Jr. Let's take a look.
Would have never thought it would have been you who was here.
That smell.
Smell?
In your clothes.
Ain't nothing wrong with my damn clothes. Damn sure ain't my body. I just got out the shower not too long ago.
The smell in your clothes, it actually reminds me.
That's all you got to say to me is about how my damn clothes smell
all
or
right,
something?
Man, look, I'm sorry.
Why are you here, Detour?
You didn't know I was coming here.
How the hell you didn't know you was coming?
I only thought about it 3 hours ago when I was on the road.
Where you was at?
Call up to the prison. To my surprise, I was able to talk to Warden Jefferson. And he's a military man.
All the years I've been up in there, you think I don't know that?
I was just saying.
Man got 3 Marine Corps flags sitting in flag poles in his office. Got framed pictures on the walls of him and his unit in Vietnam. All the members of his family all wear military uniforms, fought in wars going back to 1812.
Well, I hadn't actually met him yet. I'm supposed to after visiting you. But I did see a picture of him when I entered the prison.
He's pretty cool. Yeah, no, I mean, a little bit whacked out from all that combat, I guess.
And his hair still cut like a Marine's.
Yeah, where do you see his office? What's that song they sing about the Marine Corps?
From the halls of Montezuma?
Yeah, that's the one. Man got that playing all the time in there. You know, he even got a big air freshener in there that smells like smoke. You know, coming out of a can or a machine gun or something.
Well, that's a real Marine right there.
Yeah, man. God damn. Why are you here, son?
Well, Warden Jefferson said he'll do anything he can for an honorable military man. He granted me permission to see you.
Like I said, he's pretty cool.
And he told me that you've been nothing but a model prisoner. And I said that if that's the case, then I have one more request, that I'm able to see my father in a place that doesn't remind me or him of a prison. Somewhere where our conversations can't be recorded.
You got some balls, boy.
You know, he said he'll do anything he can for you, too.
Like I say, he's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. Well, so I was leaving New Orleans on the way to Pensacola.
That's where you live at?
Yeah, ever since I enlisted right after I graduated from high school.
Huh. Pensacola.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, before you was born, way before you was born. That's where I used to take your mama for our little getaways. That sand, man. Pretty, soft, white.
Yeah, it's still the same way.
Once again, Tour Detour will open next Friday. Okay, that's November 11th at Ashe Powerhouse Theater and run through November 20th. And now it's time for our Artist Spotlight. Tonight we're featuring the work called Untitled by Erica Lambert, and she is one of 20 artists selected from the New Orleans area, and it's Lamberton, actually, forgive me. And this is from the Bombay Sapphire Artisan Series Regional Finals at Lemieux Galleries. The winner will be announced at the finale reception at the gallery tomorrow evening from 6:30 to 9:30. And that local artists and all these artists will compete with other regional winners in December. And you can meet, by the way, Peter Max, the famous artist Peter Max, next Friday at Angela King Gallery. Go to her website for details. And Alan Smason has quite the list of what's opening this weekend. But before we hear from him, here's an exclusive look at Rivertown Theater's 1776.
I have come to the conclusion that one useless man is called a disgrace, that two are called a law firm, and that three or more become a Congress. And by God, I have had this Congress. For 10 years, King George and his parliament have gulled, cullied, and diddled these colonies with their illegal taxes. And still, this Congress refuses to grant any of my proposals on independence, even so much as the courtesy of open debate. Good God! What in hell are they waiting for?
Sit down, John. Sit down, John. For God's sake, John. Sit down. Sit down, John. Sit down, John. For God's sake, John. Sit down. Someone ought to open up a window. It's 90 degrees. Have mercy, John, please. It's hot as hell in Philadelphia. Open up a window.
I say vote yes, vote yes, Vote for independence, say.
Someone ought to open up a window.
I say vote yes.
Sit down, John.
Vote for independence, say.
Someone ought to open up a window. No, no, no. Too many flies. Too many flies. But hot hell in Philadelphia. Can we compromise here?
Vote yes.
No, too many flies here.
Vote yes.
Oh, for God's sake, John, sit down.
Lord God, consider yourselves fortunate you have John Adams to abuse. For no sane man would tolerate it.
John, you're a bore. We've heard this before. Now, for God's sake, John, sit down.
I say vote yes.
No.
Vote yes.
No.
Vote for independence, say.
Someone ought to open up a window.
I say vote yes.
Sit down, John.
Vote for independence, say.
Will someone shut that man up?
Never. Never.
Can't wait, can't wait.
And of course, it's through November 20th, directed by A.J. Allegra, and they're starring Gary Rucker as John Adams.
And WYES TV's Terry Otter back in there, too.
Yes, well, there's a whole slew of people. It's almost all male
it is.
cast.
It's a great cast.
Now, that's opening, of course. It's a perfect storm of openings in New Orleans. It's unbelievable how many openings we have. Instead of just mentioning 1776, let me go to the Jefferson Performing Arts Society. They are having the Fanny Bright story that we all know and love, Funny Girl, starring Carly Alessi as Fanny, and also Robert Facio as Nick Arstein. That is opening, and it'll play until November 13th at the JPAC, Jefferson Performing Arts Center. Also opening this weekend at Le Petit is Freud's Last Session, an imagined meeting between C.S. Lewis and Sigmund Freud. That'll be opening at Le Petit on St. Peter Street, and of course playing all the way through November the 20th. And also now in previews, but opening on Monday night, is Grounded, a one-woman show starring Carrie Cahill, of course, that we've seen in a number of films locally and nationally. It's a regional premiere for Southern Rep, and again runs with no intermission, just like the Freud's Last Session, which is a continuing about an hour and a half.
So they're now at Loyola, we should point out.
They're going to be at the Loyola Lower Depths Theater.
On,
So, and of course, that's where this production is Lower Depths, and the rest of it will take place at Marquette Hall. So we hope that that's the beginning of a very lovely relationship with them until they get Southern Rep's special new place on Bayou Road. Now, would I have been here the last 2 weeks, I would have extolled the virtues of James Bartell and Carol Sutton in 4,000 Miles. I saw this sweet, heartfelt adult play starring Bartell and Sutton. Bartell stars as Leo, Sutton is his grandmother Vera. The title refers to the distance that Leo has bicycled from Seattle to New York City, and perhaps the metaphysical distance between him and his grandmother. There's also a tragedy that occurs on the route. His girlfriend Beck, short for Rebecca, Annie Cleveland, finds it difficult to continue and maintain that relationship. And so he pursues Amanda, played by Anna Tujas, to fill that void, but even that seems for naught. The real relationship that develops, though, is between Vera and Leo, and is truly worth seeing on this, what will be, unfortunately, their final weekend. But it's, again, at the Ashe Cultural Arts Center on Aretha Castle Haley Boulevard. And again, if you have a chance to see that, it is not in the Powerhouse Theater. It is in the front of the house, if you will, on Aretha Castle Haley Boulevard. Also, another production opening up is In Good Company. They're presenting Eric Overmyer's On the Verge. I got a chance to see this. Now, this is a rather bizarre play. If you haven't seen it, it stars Sherry Menina, Cammie West, and Sarah Carlton as explorers Mary, Fanny, and Alex, who advance from their own time period into the future, or our immediate past, if you will. Along the way, they encounter, among others, a troll, a yeti, a bear named Grover, and two relatively modern fellows, Mr. Coffee and Nikki Paradise, all played by Evan Spiegelman with great exuberance. Ticket prices have been slashed due to all these other openings. They want people to come. I would say that this play does require a great deal of concentration. Everything is going by very, very fast. I'm not certain I agree with all the directing choices. However, I think it's really worth seeing. Rebecca Frank is the director, and I did find enough in it to say I would recommend it as a show that should be supported. And, support our local community theater. They had some problems in terms of staging this. So, this is at the New Orleans Arts Center, and again, on St. Claude Avenue, and again, I wanted to just mention the fact that they had a little bit of start and stop. They had originally planned on having it at the theater at St. Claude. They had some problems with the theater.
Okay.
Now, last week I got to spend time in New York and to see several shows. Of course, one of the best ones I saw right off the bat was Nathan Lane and John Goodman in the front page. Our own local actor, John Goodman, was there. Nathan Lane scores really big in this production. We see a wonderful shot of John Goodman there.
Great, though.
Oh, he's fantastic. And some of the actors who are just sort of, if you will, the other actors in the background are fantastic actors. Dylan Baker, and you've got a whole slew of people in there in the cast as well. Also, that night during intermission of Hamilton, which is still the hottest seat on Broadway, even with a new cast, I got to see, who do I discover? My own cousin from Florida, who just happened to be in the room where it happens. So there you go. I mean, it's just, you never believe it. Aside from seeing the Broadway League, who produced the Tony Awards with the American Theater Wing, I got to see the composer-lyricist Benj Pasek, Justin Paul, and book writer Stephen Levinson, who discussed Dear Evan Hansen, which is about to bow on the Great White Way. Benj and Justin were also just announced as the new songwriters in Disney's new production that's going to be coming out in 2 years of Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. Brand new information just came to me. Also, I got to meet a fellow birthday boy, William Finn, the composer, lyricist of Falsettos, which is playing to packed houses on Broadway, starring Christian Borle and Andrew Rannells. Again, he wrote A New Brain. He wrote 25th Annual Putnam County Spelling Bee. You may remember some of those. He and I have the same birthday, along with Bernadette Peters and Tommy Toon and Zero Mastel. February 28th. It's amazing. And Seth Rudetsky.
I'm not wishing you happy birthday right now.
And also a final trip to the Carnegie Deli for what I call the last pickle show.
Okay.
And one last time to pack away a corned beef sandwich. There we were.
Thank you. I'm glad you had a good time, though, too. Thanks for that overview. And now it's time for our picks of the week. Tracee.
Oh, definitely. If you're into fashion, please come to the Fashion Awards Gala. You can visit our website for more information, NewOrleansFashionWeek.com.
All right. Thank you, Poppy.
First time ever, St. Basil International Food Festival this weekend at St. Basil's Antiochian Orthodox Church in Metairie. Food, music, it's going to be exotic and fun.
All right, Harold.
Central City Festival, Ruther Castle Haley Boulevard all weekend. Food, fun, lots of beautiful people.
Very good, of course. Thank you. Alan.
I have two picks. Dangerous Birds If Agitated. It's three Tennessee Williams one-act plays, all comedies, playing at Where Else Phillips Bar on Maple Street in the outdoor patio there. And that's going to be on for now through the 20th of November. And also, don't forget, next Saturday night, Brian Batt, our own local star, is going to be starring with the Louisiana Philharmonic's Orchestra and doing Broadway's Best, featuring him at the Orpheum Theater.
All right, thank you. And before we go to my picks, I would like to share a few photos from Halloween night. Here are some trick-or-treaters in the Mid-City neighborhood. Lots of princesses and superheroes, still very popular. And here are WYES's Tom Gregory's beautiful daughters, Alston and Molly. Alston is Rapunzel after she got her hair cut in the film Tangled. And Molly is Anna from Frozen, so precious. And here is the Hinyip family, also Aislinn Hinyip from WYES, with friends and neighbor as the Walking Dead. Ooh, amazing costumes. And now my picks. We wanted to revisit Sacra Conversazioni, All Saints of New Orleans by George Schmidt. We had featured the oil painting last week, but we also wanted to mention that etchings are available, and they are limited 25, numbered and signed. Schmidt's gallery is open Tuesday through Saturdays, 12:30 to 4:30 p.m. on Julia. You can visit his website to see more of his work. And the World War II Air Power Expo, featuring the historic 1940s warplanes and the veteran aviators who flew them, this weekend at the Lakefront Arena Airport, with aerial demos and aircraft tours and other activities. And over at Tulane's Dixon Hall, Let's Get Political, a Broadway review tomorrow night, conceived by Leslie Castay. So that's going to be a whole lot of fun there. And Justin Lee Miller, who's a Broadway veteran, does take a bow there. He's going to be doing a cameo, so that'll be a whole lot of fun. Tickets are $10 and $5 for students. And this year's Words and Music Literary Weekend kicks off next Wednesday, and you could go to their website. They're over at the Montleon. So thank you all very much for being here, and thank you so much for watching. Good night.
Global Star Satellite Communications, headquartered in Covington, Louisiana, connects the world. Global Star Satellite voice and data products offer remote communications for lone workers and backup communications during emergencies and disasters. Global Star's products include Wi-Fi hotspots, tracking devices, and fixed and mobile phones. Be bold, be efficient, be heard. Global Star connects the world.